Hi, welcome to the first ever edition of Chi-Town Breakdown. I like that name, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. So basically, what we're going to do here is go on a journey with the Chicago Bears in their first year under new head coach Mark Trestman, and I will help tell the story throughout the season of what's going on, what to look for, things that we should be expecting every week, sort of game plans for how I believe Chicago should beat their next opponent, and basically what happened in the previous game. There will be snarkly sarcasm involved sometimes. I have NFL Sunday ticket because otherwise 7 of the 16 Bears games would be blacked out because of blackout regulations, which is stupid because I'm within 100 miles of Indianapolis. Um, I don't like the Colts, as you already know. But anyway, I wanted to get started basically by calling out something humorous that has to do with the former Chicago Bears, Jamarcus Webb. About an hour ago, Jamarcus was signed by the Minnesota Vikings, which was kind of a puzzling decision because of anybody out of all of the NFL teams, they would know how much he sucks. So I'm not entirely sure why they brought him in. But if he ends up starting for them and being as bad as he was here, I'm hoping we can give him the nickname the Trojan Horse, basically because we shipped him off there and then he destroyed the franchise from the playing field on out. Fingers crossed there. I will have the Board of Infinite Wisdom, which fills itself up with writing. I do none of the writing, it just kind of happens overnight. I'm not sure how that happens. The Board of Infinite Wisdom will always have the 3 tips to victory on it for each Chicago Bears game. And there might be some humorous drawings on it because everyone knows how bad of a drawer I am. But let's get started off here. These are the 3 things that I think Chicago really needs to focus on, or could be the keys to winning against the Cincinnati Bengals in week 1. First off, limiting A.J. Green. Okay, A.J. Green is one of the most dynamic and explosive wide receivers in the NFL right now. He is undoubtedly a top 5 wide receiver. He's extremely deadly. He's got amazing hands, and he's one of the fastest, really, in the NFL right now. It's rivaled. I wouldn't say Steve Smith is up there anymore. He's kind of fallen off a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how we approach playing A.J. Green because he's so fast. I imagine we'll probably put Charles Tillman on him with safety help over the top from Chris Conte. He'll probably need to be double teamed at some point too. The fact is, Cincinnati's offense is very, very one-dimensional around A.J. Green. If we can not necessarily stop him, because you're not going to stop somebody who's that good. It's not going to happen. But if we can at least slow him down and limit his big plays, we'll be able to control their offense for the most part and force at least a few turnovers to give our offense a short field. Alshon Jeffrey's emergence. This is one that I am really looking forward to watching, not just this game, but this season. Every team is going to have the same game plan at the beginning of the season going into Chicago. 1, blitz, and try to see if the line is going to hold up, our new revamped line. And 2, basically double team Brandon Marshall and do not let him get a hold of the football. That's where Alshon Jeffrey comes in. Jeffrey is a physical receiver who's about the same size as Brandon Marshall. He's got great speed, he's got great hands, and he showed flashes last year, like he had is like a 40-yard touchdown reception against Indianapolis. He was having a decent rookie season until he broke his hand making a touchdown catch against the Tennessee Titans. That goes above and beyond skill. That's just heart at that point, playing through the pain to get that touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey's emergence in this game is going to be huge because Cincinnati is going to go all out to take Brandon Marshall out of the football game. We all know that last year Cutler basically fired to Brandon Marshall on every passing play. He targeted him nonstop. If Cincy doubles him and Cutler still tries to force it, it could get ugly because Cincinnati is a very good defense. I know that they were top. I don't have the exact stats, but I know they were top 10 last year. This is where Alshon Jeffrey comes in. If he can take a load off of Brandon Marshall and force teams to quit double teaming him, it's going to make Brandon Marshall that much more deadly. And the fact that Alshon Jeffrey himself has got a lot of talent, and there's nothing wrong with Cutler feeding him the ball. Step number 3, Cutler under pressure. Hopefully with our new offensive line, Cutler won't be under as much pressure anymore. But we won't know until Cincinnati starts throwing blitzes how well they get picked up, how much pressure gets to Cutler. And here's the key. I'm 99% sure that this line is going to be better than our line last year. Actually make that 100% sure. There's no doubt they will be better. The problem is every team's offensive line breaks down at some point. You're not going to have an entire game where there's no pressure on the quarterback whatsoever. Every line will break down at some point. And when that happens, what is Cutler going to do? I've said before earlier in this video that Cincinnati is a very good defense, and they are. They're going to get pressure on Cutler. I don't care how good the line is. We could have the 2007 Patriots offensive line. At some point, Cincinnati is going to get pressure, period. What does Cutler do? Does he throw the ball away? Does he take off and run with it and scramble and try to get yards? Does he try to force passes like we know that he probably will at some point? The last decision, which is an integral part of Jim Tressman's offense, does he dump it off into the flats, which never happened under Lovie Smith. It never happened under Mike Tyson. It never happened under Mike Martz. It never happened under Ron Turner. Mark Tressman's offense will. The biggest key for Cutler will be when he feels pressure, he doesn't try to force the ball to Brandon Marshall, because Cincinnati knows that's what he's going to try to do, and they'll be waiting for that throw to try to jump it. So basically when Cutler feels pressure, just make good decisions and don't try to force it to Brandon Marshall. Either dump it off in the flats, take the sack, throw the ball away. Oh, Board of Infinite Wisdom, who will win the Chicago Bears game against the Cincinnati Bengals?